Good afternoon. I was recently kind of browsing through some Facebook groups, and I found a group I wanted to join. It was a color pooling yarn group, and I guess the purpose is just to document different yarns that you can do color pooling with. So I posted a picture of this piece right here. This is actually, it was folded in half, and this is now in quarters, so it's just about long enough for a scarf, but maybe not quite. At any rate, I got quite a few positive comments about it, and some people seem to get a little disheartened because they looked at it and they said, oh, that's really pretty, and I couldn't do that, and I tried color pooling and it didn't work. And I don't want to do a color pooling tutorial video exactly because there's so many of them and people do them so well. So I decided that I wasn't going to do that, but I did want to make some comments about this because there was one particular video and one particular moment in that video that just sort of made it click in my mind how color pooling would work and how I could make it work. Because I had tried it once before a few years ago with kind of mixed success. I tried using a website that I found that's supposed to tell you exactly what stitches to use or how to do color pooling. You just put in your color run, like 3 of pink, 3 of blue, 3 of red, what your sequence is, and it's supposed to do the work for you. That still didn't seem to make any sense to me. There was a video that you could watch to explain it, and I didn't watch that. So that website's probably just perfectly fine. I just didn't take the time to really get all I could out of it because I was being kind of impatient. But I watched another video from a channel called It's Time for Yarn. And about 30 minutes in, when she starts her ends her second row, starts her third row, that moment was like, oh, okay. And after that, it was like, once I got that, it was like nothing in the yarn does it by itself. Once you get the pattern right, once you get your math, don't be scared of the math. But it just was like this moment, and I thought, well, maybe I can help other people understand it. So we're going to look at my little remarkable here. And sorry for the glare, it's kind of unavoidable at this point. Nope. Okay. And I've already kind of drawn on this. I did one video and it didn't turn out that great because the audio and the video weren't synced for some reason. And I'm not feeling too great, so instead of the whole other thing that I said about different yarns and something else that I said, we're just going to jump into this crazy diagram here. Okay. So this is basically what I did for this project. Got your foundation chain, and you crochet in the 4th chain from the hook or whatever. Sometimes I do a little less depending on how loose the yarn is and whatever. So this is going to be your row 1. Let's see, can we get a little... Can't really see it but this is your row 1 going back. I did 3 dark pink, 3 medium pink, 3 dark pink, and this is moss stitch, so that's a single crochet chain, single crochet. If you've done any color pooling, you know the drill with the moss stitch. But then white, 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 light pink, light pink, light pink, white, 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 then 3 dark pink, 3 medium pink, 3 dark pink, and that was the end of that first row. And since I can't flip this around for you, we're just going to have to go back the other way. So this is going to be the second row. You do your little chain to turn, and then we're going to continue. After the dark pink always comes the white, 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 light pink, light pink, light pink, white, 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 dark pink, light, medium pink, dark pink, white, light pink, white. So 3, this row ends on 3 white. And that's row 2. Now, even though that says 2, that's not for the row number. That's actually row 3. But this is like the moment that it gelled in my mind. Okay, this is what I need to do to get that diagonal going so that we could have some, diamond shapes going. So this 2 here is there because this is the row, your third row. When you start this row, this is the row that decides what your pattern's going to look like. I could have continued doing 1, 2, 3 and matched these up because you're doing the moss stitch, every other row is offset, right? Because you're crocheting in the chain space rather than on top of the crochet below, right? So row 1 and row 2 are offset, but then row 3 is in line. So on row 3, it turns out that if I want to have a diagonal starting up, I have to match up my crochet with that one in the first row, match up the second one with that one, but then here's the third one. Nope, next color, right? Because that's your diagonal. So if you only do 2 on that third row, and you keep going in the same sequence, every other one, like every color, see, look at the medium pink color here. It doesn't line up with a medium pink underneath. It aligns with the dark pink. Your next one lines up with the pink below it, and the next one lines up with a dark pink. So again, following this one and this one, you've got, here's the one in the row 1, here's the one in row 3, you've got that diagonal going. So for the rest of the third row, you just keep going, and at the end of the row, you do 3 again, but you don't have room for 3. You do 1, 2, 3, and then just keep going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Using my pattern, obviously, if your numbers are different, your numbers are different, right? But using with mine as an example, whatever pattern you've got, just keep going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, at this end, on row 4, again, you've got to think. This side, see what it says? This side, watch out. So on row 4, you've got to think about that number 2 again, because look what happens. I do 1 on this side, 1 on the end, and 1 on the beginning of the next row. And look what happens. This one lines up, but the next stitch is a dark pink, and it lines up with this is the medium pink. It lines up with the dark pink. So again, starting from row 1, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be row 5. Right here is row 5. But on row 5, if you look, starting at row 1, here's the dark pink as an example. Dark pink lines up with that one. Dark pink lines up with that one, and again, you've got your diagonal going. And if you just keep doing it, that's what's going to give you the correct sequence or correct pattern. So like I said, this side, you do whatever you got to do to keep in pattern. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, whatever your pattern is, keep it, just continue it to the next row. Like this one is 1, 2, 3, 1 on the end of that row, 2, 3 at the beginning of the next one, right? But on this side, this side, like it says, watch out. And the lady's video that I was watching, she puts a hair clip on that side. I put a binder clip or a safety pin, or you could use a stitch marker, or you could just tie a piece of different color yarn or ribbon or whatever you want to use to mark that side, and keep thinking about that number that you figured out, because that's always going to work in however you have to do it. Sometimes you have to just end that row with 2. Sometimes you carry it over like that one. It's just kind of depends, and you have to watch out. And as long as you keep that thought in your head, that you're going to be okay and you're going to be able to do it. And here's my cute little key label thing. This is to show you what the stitches mean. Obviously, they're not regular crochet symbols. I just kind of did a fast and dirty one. It is, of course, the Mainstays Pink Blend. That's what this yarn is. The YouTube channel, again, is called It's Time for Yarn. And the exact title of the video is How to Color Pool Mainstays Blue Multi Tutorial, with the forward slashes in it. And of course, again, this is moss stitch that I did. And the only other thing I want to say is that she does in her video, if she has to use up a whole bunch of yarn, like right here where you when you have to do only 2 stitches at the end, or two stitches at the beginning rather, and I've got room for 3 stitches, like there's enough yarn for 3 stitches, and if you can't loosen it up enough, or you loosen it up so much and it looks really crazy, or you loosen it up and it still doesn't work, her video shows using half double crochet to use up that extra yarn. I don't do that because it makes a little too big of a hole. She shows you how to fix that if you do it, or maybe you don't need to, depending on how you crochet. But I don't do that. I crochet into the front of the stitch just regular, but before I finish the stitch, I go around from the back and pull another loop through, and then pull them all through both of those, or actually it wind up being 3 loops at the same time, right? But I don't finish the stitch when I do. I reach in from the front, pull it through, reach around through the back, pull it through, and then pull through all loops. And that uses up, I think, just about as much as a half double crochet, but it doesn't leave a big hole. It does leave kind of a bump, but not too bad. And as long as you don't do it too often, I think that works out a lot better, in my opinion. But that's like the quick and dirty explanation how to use this yarn to get this pattern. And really, please try, because if I can do it, you can do it. It's not that bad. Although I do have to say that if you get your hands on some yarn that will not work and you're so frustrated, then you might have the wrong yarn, or you might be overthinking something. A lot of people have said they've tried the actual color pooling yarn and it hasn't worked out, and I wonder if that's because they're not watching out on their one side and they're just sort of relying on the yarn to just do it itself. Like that's what I was doing at first with this one, and it was like a blob, and I was like, what's going on? According to the chart, this is supposed to work, but I wasn't watching out. So that's it. That's my beautiful, everybody said it was so beautiful. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Mainstays yarn. I don't know. It is what it is. I hate that expression, but that's true. I apologize for the lighting. It's kind of weird in here today. It's kind of a half sunny, half overcast. And like I said, I'd done this video once before. The audio got unsynced somehow. So I decided just to, instead of trying to fix that, I just redid it. But like I said, I did really want to give some encouragement. This is not a tutorial to show you every step of the way. Check out It's Time for Yarn. She has a ton of videos about color pooling, and they're all great. That particular one, which makes sense because it's about the blue multi or the blue blend, right? Which is basically what I've got here in the pink colorway, right? And but she does it really, really amazing. There's a ton of them out there. I guess there's books about it now. But if you get into something that you're not sure, like if it doesn't work, you might have to put it in timeout for a little while, but I really think you can do it. I really do. Please don't give up. Try it. I think you could make something really beautiful too. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening.